of us are having difficulties with sleeping and sleeping through the night or other sleep issues, and yet good sleep is a cornerstone of health, well-being, life satisfaction, good mood, and just overall wellness. And we know we talk about like prioritizing sleep a lot. So how do you actually do it? In this video, we're breaking down some tangible tips of how can you improve your sleep.
Let's get into it. So coming in, number one is a consistent sleep and wake schedule. So it is really important to get your body accustomed to going to sleep at the same time every night, as well as waking up at the same time every morning. And you want to make sure that that time is set where you're getting enough sleep. So everyone is different. I know that there's that scale you see online and you Google, oh, you know, how much time is needed to sleep, and it gives you anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. Find out what's right for you, what feels best. Everybody's a little bit different. Some may be a little bit less than that range, some may be a little bit more than that range. If you're a woman, during different times in your cycle, you may need to have a little bit more sleep than others. With men, it's more consistent, you know, whatever feels right. So like for me, I need about 7 hours and then I'm fine. So just go to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time. That'll really help with just overall sleep quality.
Number two, and this is a biggie, limit your screen time before bedtime. So for about an hour and a half, or at least 30 minutes if you can't do a whole hour, turn off all the devices, all of your phones. And honestly, best is to keep your phone in a completely different room, because when your phone is right next to you by the bed, you will be more activated. Your brain will be more activated. There were studies that showing this. And so if you keep your phone somewhere like completely in a different room, or if you can't, like, you know, in the drawer, maybe away from your bed so that you can still hear your alarm, that would be absolute best. And don't watch TV, and just, like, you know, dim all of your lights, limit exposure to blue light. So dim the light, make sure the light around you is more in a warmer tone, and you're not like cranking up lighting anywhere, or you know, are exposed to other people watching TV. Just have it like be a very serene environment, and with dim light about an hour before bed.
So number three then is we're going to create a relaxing bedtime routine. Whether this is taking a warm bath before going to bed, reading as you're falling to sleep, you know, just create some type of routine or ritual that you're going to do to wind down to get ready for bed. So for us, personally for me, it's I shower, you know, brush my teeth, get ready, and, you know, do all that stuff, and then lay down, read to myself, and then I transition to reading out loud to Anne as she falls asleep. And then once she's asleep, then I either read a little bit or I just go to sleep. So we have this routine that we do every night. My body knows once I start this process, it's time to start winding down and it's time to go to sleep.
Yes, and I also have the lighting very dim, like I shared before, and I think that also signals to our bodies it's time to just start decompressing and sleeping. I don't think Jonathan notices it, because after we shower, I go into the bedroom and I don't turn on the actual bedroom, like on the ceiling light. I only turn on our lamp, which is in like the dimmest and orange kind of lighting. If you have like that go-to ritual, whether it is turning on a candle or very relaxing music, that will signal to your brain, oh, we do this every day. Oh, this is a signal for sleep time. And actually, if you have children, this is a great tip to how to have your children to start like winding down as well, is turning on that like music or whatever lighting you have to signal to their children's brain, instead of like, you know, when they're high strong watching TV, running around and like, okay, it's time for bed. Like, how effective is that, right? So that's just a great way to signal to your brain or your family's brain that it's time to start getting ready for bed.
Another thing that's important is to open your windows and try and get some fresh air in there. That way it's not, you know, that stale air that's been in there all day, because you likely haven't been in your room since you left for work in the morning or whatever it is. Yeah. Just get some fresh air circulating in there, have a good temperature as well.
Yes, setting a cool temperature is utmost important for your body for sleep, because cooler temperature is your body will have an easier time and better sleep, quality of sleep, if your room is a cooler temperature. Like 69 or, you know, degrees is ideal, but we don't do that necessarily, just as cool as we can without getting cold. Number 4, be mindful of your meal time, your dinner time, and caffeine intake. So ideally you want to have dinner at least 3 hours before your bedtime, especially if your meal is on a heavier side, and then definitely take a little walk after to boost your digestion. And regarding caffeine, caffeine, it usually stays in your system for 12 hours. So let's say if you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna drink my coffee at noon, at midnight it's still in your system. I think about 25%, I don't remember the exact number. It's still in your system, so that will impact your sleep. And I know some people are like, oh, caffeine doesn't really impact my sleep, I can have an espresso before bed and still go to sleep fine. Yes, you can go to sleep fine, but it still impacts the quality of your sleep because the caffeine is in your body. So I would really take into account that 12-hour thing and try my best to have the last cup of coffee or caffeinated tea at least 12 hours before my bedtime if you want a good quality sleep.
And eating your dinner 3 hours before you go to sleep, you got to be really intentional with that, because I notice, like, you know, I oftentimes don't get home from work until like 6 o'clock, and then, you know, we have to cook and then eating dinner, so sometimes that pushes our sleep time later, so we oftentimes end up
dinner time later.
That often ends up pushing our dinner time later, so then that's, you know, we're going to bed and I'm still like maybe not fully digested before going to bed, and I can feel the effect of not being able to fall asleep. So it's really important to try and prioritize eating early enough.
Because when you're sleeping, your body needs to be in full rest. But if you have a whole dinner, especially if it's like meat, heavy beef in there, then instead of like relaxing and resting, your body is actually digesting the food and it's not really resting. So therefore you are taking time out of full quality sleep where your body needs to fully rest, and you're chipping away that time for it to actually still digest your food. Right.
Number 5, we want you guys to optimize your sleeping environment. So we already mentioned having a cold room, so that's number 1 in the environment. You want to make sure it's very dark, it's very quiet as well. So if you need to have earplugs to sleep because it's too loud in the mornings, or if you need to have an eye mask because you aren't able to have blackout curtains, just set up the environment to have it the ideal condition to go to sleep and to stay asleep.
I know, for example, my room needs to be completely pitch black. I can't have any devices, like, you know how you sometimes have TV lights on, like the red or blue light from different devices. So it needs to be completely quiet. So yeah, and cool temperature. And also your bed sheets matter, right? Your mattress, your pillows. When Jonathan and I first met, his bed sheets were like a little rough for me. So we switched to the softest bamboo sheets that are very breathable. So I recommend that to my clients a lot that have trouble sleeping, and cooler temperature. Yes.
Yeah. Number 6, exposing yourself to morning sunlight.
First thing in the morning or within 30 minutes to an hour upon waking. That way when you go outside and you let sunlight kind of wake you up through your eyes, it just tells your body, like, and your brain that, oh, it's morning, it's time to get going, it's time to get up, and it's time to do things and be awake. So this is like a little tip to set your circadian rhythm, and which is the same thing why we dim our lights before bed and why we eat 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, is to kind of give your body signals, and so that you know, where your body knows when it's morning, when it's night. When we live in the modern world with so much like devices and lights, and like the lights are 24/7, our bodies can get confused, and doing these little steps can really help you get that good quality sleep that you're seeking. And what also helps your circadian rhythm is eating whenever the sun is out. And I know what I mentioned, like not eating dinner 3 to 4 hours before, but if you get in sunlight and also throughout the day, as much as you can, be outside. Let's say like you take a meeting call, you can walk outside the block and just get that sun exposure with sunscreen, of course, but just as long as your body is outside, it knows that it's daytime. It's kind of like natural way to energize yourself. So maybe, you know, around 2-3 p.m. if you're feeling that crash, instead of getting another cup of coffee, take a little walk around your office, take a little walk around your home, and that, like, the sunlight and also movement will boost your energy. And if you have good like playlists as well, music, that will definitely perk you up.
That's a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. That was just a handful of tips on how to improve your sleep quality. Thank you for watching the video. I know that some of these tips might not be a fix-all for everyone. You know, maybe it's a mixture of this and that, and maybe there's other things that you can do to improve your sleep as well. A lot of times people don't really know where to start, and if you feel like you're kind of stuck and struggling, Anne is a really great resource to get you on that wellness journey and to get you help with your sleep, nutrition, lifestyle, whatever that is. You guys need a little bit of a testimonial. Just from my perspective, having Anne in my life, teaching me all of these things about sleep and nutrition, it has just improved my life so much. And I just want to like help her to share that with everybody that she can.
Yeah, these are just the general tips, like if you're already not aware of these things and you maybe this can help you sleep better. But for example, sometimes there might be a deeper rooted issue, or maybe you don't know how to implement this in your life, and that's where coaching comes in, because sometimes people can sleep for like 10-12 hours every single day and still feel tired. And then sometimes you have this phenomena where you're tired all day, but then before bedtime you're like super wired, and that could be your adrenals, so that could be disbalanced hormones. And that's why coaching is so powerful, because we can really get into your root deep cause why you're not sleeping, why you are having trouble sleeping through the night. And that's why I would love to help you, because I understand how exhausting it can feel to not be able to sleep and just how it impacts your quality of life. And I've been there and I feel for you. So yes, if you need further help, please click the Calendly link below to schedule your first free call. It's completely free. You and I can just chat and I can find out what's going on in your life and see if we're even a good fit. There's no commitment at all, and maybe I will just direct you a different way. And yeah, I hope these tips were helpful anyways. We hope that any of these tips can help you sleep better. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys. Bye.